Well, hello friends of Antonio Toledo and Anthony York. So this is the Anthony York saga in which I'm trying to get this other account, Anthony York, to the top 10. And as you know, this is a saga that I'm doing in English. Right, so in this game I'm playing as red, and we have here Al Yahiz, a very dangerous player, very good at giving checkmates. We have Titulo Savio, that if I'm correct, I think this is Octavio. This is also a very good player. And here we have Jihad, a player that is appearing in a lot of my videos, that has improved a lot, is playing a very active, very dynamic Quaternity. So, okay, the game starts with a classical move from white, and you know what are we playing here. The idea of this series is not only that we get to the top 10, but also that we get to the top 10 only playing Loca Carioca. Right, so actually in this game, I think I managed to do like the opening Loca Carioca like I like to play, right, with no one bothering me, right? It's one of the few games in which I managed to do everything perfect. So this is, I still need to make a video on how to play it, but this is more or less the sequence that I like, right? There is an element always in the Loca Carioca that is like, when are you gonna move this pawn, or whether you're able to complete the Loca Carioca without moving the pawn, right? In my experience, I always end up moving this pawn. It exposes this diagonal, but I think it's not a big deal. Actually, it's an advantage. Like, I'm the one claiming this diagonal. Like, usually the opponent in the diagonal doesn't want to open it, right? So all of these squares are for my bishop. So, okay, bishop back, knights, and I have the two knights of the Loca Carioca in this beautiful position, defending all of these pawns and all of these position, all of these squares, right? So this is like, this will be like the perfect Loca Carioca. The only thing that is missing is this rook should be here, actually here, and then it can move in these two squares. I like it more even here. So that's the only thing that is missing. So I take out the knight, I put it there, and okay, things start getting interesting around here. We will see. I have now the complete opening of the Loca Carioca. I mean, this bishop probably will be better here, but that will depend on the situation. Okay, and then Jihad, there is again a player that is playing very actively, very interestingly. I think it's a player that has watched the Antonio Toledo videos, because I think he's using the knights as I was using in my Antonio Toledo series. Well, I don't know if he's seen the videos, but he's playing in a similar way, right? So actually he's doing something that is very interesting, like seeing that this diagonal is open, so he's gonna open that diagonal for the other player. Like, very, very interesting strategy. I mean, you're sacrificing a knight, but sometimes the position is better than the material, right? So, okay, now the diagonal is open. And okay, I'm trying to, like, this knight is also one of the classical ideas of the Loca Carioca, right? Like, because depending what is in here, we can capture and they cannot recapture. They pressure this knight, right? Like, probably Al Yahiz already know about this classical Loca Carioca strategy, so he pressures the knight. I move the knight, but of course the pawn is not protected. So now Jihad is gonna do a very fun trip with his bishop, right? He takes one pawn with the bishop, two pawns with the bishop, and three pawns with the bishop. And okay, here this is open, they're pressuring a bit. I see that there is pressure here, and I don't want to complicate myself. So what I do is I just close the diagonal, but this is four pawns for the same bishop in a, you know, very nice trip, taking bishops from every player. So that's very, very nice from Jihad. But you see, like now, green is gonna tell black that, okay, they also know how to sacrifice pieces, right? Like, okay, black messed the position of green, and now green is gonna mess the position of black. And here, it was interesting, right? Because see what happens now. Okay, go back, and then green pressures in here, right? So here, it took me some time to think about this, right? Because I didn't think, okay, what is gonna happen is that black is gonna move the bishop. So I want green to be able to take this pawn attacking this queen and bishop, right? Like, that will be good for both me and green. So in order to signal that I will do that, I take out the rooks, right? So this piece is not protected, right? So when the bishop moves, green can take the pawn. But actually, this is interesting. What happens is that black doesn't move the bishop. So actually green just takes the bishop. And what I do is to, okay, like this is classic quaternity, okay? Like this is one of the typical things that you need to see. Like green is attacking the queen, so black is gonna move the queen, so I can just advance the pawn and take the bishop. I mean, yeah, okay, move the queen or deal with the knight, right? So he prefers to do that. Actually, it's losing the rook, so it would have been better to move the queen, and I just take the bishop. So Jihadi there, even if he started playing very well, now he's got himself into a pretty bad position because, yeah, I mean, as we were saying in the previous video, playing nice quaternity is good, but you also need to calculate precisely, and here probably there were some defensive mistakes. And okay, he takes the rook, and that's a good move. Queen, and here I take advantage of this awkwardly positioned knight because, okay, I take this pawn, and now if they take, I take this knight, right? So actually this is like, let's say, a free pawn. I'm just offering him a trade of knights. And here, okay, I think this is also important, like clearly black is under a lot of pressure, so you know, a beginner player will maybe try to attack black now, right? But if you don't have the checkmate, don't try to join an attack that you are just not going to complete, right? If you're not gonna be the person giving the checkmate, then you're gonna be the person gifting the checkmate, right? So if you're not checkmating your opponent, don't put pressure in a weak player, right? Like this, I don't know why this is a mistake that I see a lot of good players doing, like thinking like, okay, I'm gonna be the one checkmating here. Your pieces are not well positioned here to give checkmate here. This is gonna be a checkmate either of green or white that is in the diagonal, right? Like maybe they can open a diagonal here, but for me it's gonna be very difficult to do it. So actually what I try to do then is to say, okay, I'm gonna defend black. I'm putting pressure on this queen to see what happens. Black just moved the king, and luckily this is the moment when green loses by time, right? And I always say that, like, players that are low on time, just ask him difficult questions, right? Like, what is gonna be your next move? If you cannot go in this column, you cannot go in this diagonal, probably the best move was here, right? But then he needs to calculate whether he's gifting the checkmate to anyone. So yeah, like, try to put them in difficult positions. So okay, now my this player is without time. He has the king on a corner, so I'm already seeing many different ways where this player can be checkmated. For instance, a queen here, if it's protected, that will be checkmate. Also, I have this diagonal open, so if there is this knight is not here, I could take advantage of giving like a double check or something like that. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to claim this diagonal. But first I need to deal with this knight, right? I thought about going up, but I thought that maybe, okay, it was better just to do like a calm move. No hurry. And probably black is seeing the same thing that I'm doing. Like, there are possibilities of a checkmate there. Now, okay, since this knight moved, this knight was for free, but okay, I don't care about that knight. I want to go for the checkmate. So, okay, black is already seeing the same things that I'm seeing. So for instance, if I took this bishop, black could give a checkmate here, right? So this is the point where we need to be very precise, right? Don't attack if you are not giving the checkmate. Just take it easy, like calculate properly, and only join the attack when you're gonna give the checkmate. So okay, so in any case, even if I don't want to join the checkmate, I do want to prepare it, right? So I want to open this diagonal. So that's what I move this knight, and also I'm attacking the other knight. So black starts like keep trying things, right? And the knight moves, and I see that now I can take that bishop, right? Because now there's no checkmate if I take the bishop, right? Because he cannot put the queen here, and the queen here will not be checkmate because there is this square. So okay, I take the queen, and now I have a lot of ideas, right? I could, if this gets covered, I could come with the queen here, or I could do a double check, or there are like many things that could be a checkmate. I just need the other players to give the checkmate to me, right? I'm not gonna give the checkmate to other people. I want them to give it to me, right? So please, if you are watching these videos, if you're a good player, because this is a mistake that I see in good players, and I think it's the worst mistake that you can make in Quaternity. Just give away a checkmate. After an hour game, you just, make a mistake, an easy mistake, and give away the checkmate. So be a bit more careful, right? It's better not to give the checkmate than maybe to miss it. If you miss it, it's okay. You're still playing. But if you give it to other player, then, the game is over. You are not gonna get the 5 points. Maybe you're gonna get 2 points later, right? But it's better to miss a checkmate than to give it away. So, okay, so black actually is trying very hard to get the checkmate, like probably black should follow this advice and puts the queen here, right? So actually have different options now to give a checkmate. So white probably sees that, but there is no way in which they can stop it. So what they decide is to attack my queen. So, okay, now that you're watching the video, that you're a very good player, I will ask you, what is the best move here? If you want to stop the video here and look at all of the different possibilities, there are a lot of checkmate ideas. So what is the best move? What would you do if you were right? So, okay, let's see, different options. One option, probably the worst one, I would say, is to take with the bishop, right? So then you're covering the queen and it's a checkmate. Why do I say that is the worst? Because after that, the queen is gonna take, maybe not, because it's covered by the rook, but in any case, you're gonna lose this and then you're gonna lose the rook, right? So you're gonna lose both the queen and the rook. Another option could be to take, to put the queen here or here, right? Just covering this queen. No, not here, doesn't work, it needs to be here, right? If you put the rook here, it's double check, and then, yeah, you're also gonna lose the queen after, right? Because this queen is gonna take here. So those are the two main options that I see to give checkmate, right? But actually, when I was looking at this, I thought, okay, if I lose a queen, okay, I'm gaining another queen, but I will have these two players attacking me, and it's still gonna be a hard game, right? I'm gonna need to work for my meal. But I decided, okay, one thing that I was thinking is like, okay, I'm gonna take green pieces. As soon as I give the checkmate, I'm gonna take green pieces. And importantly, I'm taking this queen that is so close to giving checkmate to this king, right? So I did something that I will not recommend. Like, my official advice is, if you can give checkmate, right? Don't think about something else, unless you calculate precisely. So in this case, instead of rushing, instead of getting stressed, instead of hurrying up for the checkmate, I did the very calm and elegant queen I3, right? I did this move. I mean, I could have done this and just lose my queen and give checkmate, but we're not butchers here. When we're playing Quaternity, we're making a composition. We're musicians, right? We're not trying to play any move that give us the victory. We want to win, but we want to win beautiful, right? And this move, I believe, does the job, right? Like, it's not only winning, but it's doing it beautifully. Why do I say this? Okay, what can black do, right? Black could have a checkmate here, right? But they cannot do that because they're in check. And there is no way that they can cover the check with the queen or with the rook. So the only thing that they can do is to move the king. And that's what they do. And also, that was important part of the calculation. White cannot do anything else, cannot take advantage of the checkmate, cannot threaten any of my pieces, right? And that's important. That's another lesson of this game. This is the case because white was too much with all of the pieces inside of his domain, right? So he, at this point, right, when the game is already starting to get decided, all of his pieces are jailed in this little pawn structure, right? So white cannot do anything. He just attacks my knight, okay? But then this is a beautiful part because now I do checkmate to green, and at the same time, this queen becomes red. So it's not only checkmate to green, but it's also check to black. And black has to move. Again, white cannot do anything because all of his pieces are here in the corner. So white just takes the knight, and not only I give one checkmate, but I give two checkmates in a row. Right, so I think this sequence is very beautiful. And it's showing how sometimes you need to calculate precisely and just play Quaternity in an elegant way. Double checkmate. And now, okay, now it's all of these pieces against these pieces. So it's like 3 queens against a queen, 4 rooks against 2 rooks. So this is kind of easy. I have to say that Al-Jahiz is a very good player in the endgames, and I was a bit low on time, so there were some mistakes. I lost one of my queens, but okay, it was very easy. The only thing I need to do is to trade everything. And okay, I start trading everything. Because, right, if I trade everything, I have much more than him. So that was checkmate. So that's it. I hope you liked it. Another game of Anthony York. Like, I think this idea is very good. Again, these kind of things I only recommend it if you really know what you're doing, if you're calculating precisely. Like in most of the times, I will suggest that the best move is just like getting the checkmate, getting the first 2 points, and then try to get the next 2. But in this case, we had this very nice idea. So that's it. I hope you liked the video, and see you in the next one.